Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another month, another edition of the Host Open 18, a monthly tournament for the Brazilian scene. Of course, host VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players by the Hoot Chats and by my plushies as well. Welcome, welcome, one and all, to something a little bit different. Again, the Host Open is a tournament that has been running for a very long time, and we have been approached quite often as well to cover it, to cast it, but we just haven't been able to line things up. We haven't been able to have the time to cover it, but that changes here and now. That changes here and now. We cast everything back. We cast everything. This is again a monthly tournament here for the Brazilian scene. We cover quite a bit of Brazilian StarCraft actually. When it comes to a month, this is StarCraft. When it comes to Code for Giants Cup, and now when it comes to the Host Open as well. So much love to Gustavo. Gustavo, of course, one of the people behind this event, did reach out, and of course we are more than happy to jump on in. Ooh, here we go. Now, of course, this is a replay cast. This event actually did occur last weekend. At the time, we were covering another event, so we weren't quite able to really focus our full attention on this. At the time, we were covering the Firegrow Cup. So Firegrow Cup over the weekend did take precedent, did take priority, I should say, and that means that we're going to be covering the Host Open here a couple of days later. Just under a week later, we're here with our Host Open. Let's go. Let us go. Again, featuring players like Master, like Dominoko as well. We have our first series, we have our first matchup here. Master, of course, and Dominoko, these two are going to be facing off in the upper bracket finals. This was a big double elimination bracket, 2-day event as well. It's crazy. 2 days, a lot of StarCraft, a lot of content. We're going to be catching up on the highlights here, going over the upper bracket, then the lower bracket, and then of course the grand finals as well. It's going to be a best of three PVZ. Master, of course, is coming in as the strongest Protoss player in Latino America. Nowadays, Mute has been improving a lot. Mute, of course, is the Peruvian Protoss. He has been improving a lot. I would lean towards Master for the time being, but I know that Mute has been slowly rising the ranks and catching up, and arguably comparable here with Master. Likewise, on the side of Dominoko, I would say that Dominoko is the second best Zerg player in Brazil. I would say that Eric would be at the top, followed by Dominoko. Dominoko is the Portuguese or the Brazilian word for sleepy, so that is why in game at times you would see him as sleepy, or I believe on Wikipedia they have him as sleepy. I did ask him about it. He said he prefers Dominoko. One day maybe we'll change it. One day maybe we'll be able to fix that up on Wikipedia. But regardless, Dominoko is going to be facing off here in that Zerg versus Protoss. Let's go. Let's go. Game 1 is going to be on ley lines. Meanwhile, just catching up with the chat. Shout out to Turbo Quacker. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Turbo Quacker. Oh, shout out to Turbo Quacker showing up. I see Getia in the chat as well. Bienvenidos. I saw Werehog as well, claiming that first Quacker. Oink. Este Werehog. Look, at least you weren't barking. Like, I don't. Okay, God damn it, baby. God damn it. Aye. Well, regardless, we're jumping into our first series. This morning in the bottom left hand corner of ley lines, we have the Brazilian Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Team Hellfire. It is Master. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the Brazilian Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Exdemius Gaming. It is Dominoko. Or in game, acordado. Let us go. For those who are curious, acordado does actually translate to awake. to being awake. It's just a play on words here, just because his actual ID is being asleep. So let me just quickly fix that up for you and get that going. Hold on, I got you covered. Bam. And also, as we get into our first series, as we get into our first matchup, a big shout to Bomioja in the chat. Papi God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. And welcome, one and all, to our first match of the broadcast. Welcome to the Host Open number 18. Let's go. Let's go. For now, Hatch, Gas, Pool, standard opener out of our Zerg player. Likewise, Master going for a gate expand into Cybercore. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. Standard openers for the time being. We'll see how things divert in the mid game. I know that Dominoko, he is more of an aggressive Zerg player in the mid game, willing to go for 2 base all-ins, 3 base all-ins, willing to be a little bit more aggressive in this matchup. That is what I expect coming into the mid game, but we'll keep an eye on our players. Keep an eye on them. Oh. But again, shout out to Bomioja. Hold on. /shout out. Bomioja. Beautiful. We got you. So now we are setting up. Likewise, Master back at home, soon to be throwing down his tech of choice. Master, he doesn't really want to deviate too much. More often than not, at Master, he would go for standard openers, Stargate play into Oracle, into a third base, into the mid game, into a later game as well, if he can get there. Master, more of a standard player here in this matchup. Don't really expect too much deviation into like Twilight Council Glaives, or Twilight Council into Blink, or Stargate into Skytoss. That's typically not how Master does approach things. Speaking of, there's that Stargate on the way. And again, we're leading towards an Oracle-based opener into a third. Meanwhile, first probe gets across the map, getting a read on what's going on. A third base now going to be taken here from Dominoko. He's going to take his third without much issue. Unfortunately, Dominoko, he hasn't really been one too enamored with Eric's opener and style in PvZ. Smurge, baby, smurge. But we'll get there, we'll get there. Also, I do have confirmation, right, I should have opened with this, that we do have an offline event happening soon, TM, in Brazil. They have of course organized a venue. They have agreed to the terms of, you know, the venue itself, the time, the date, all is set in stone, and that is going to be coming up later on in the year. Later on in the year, there is going to be a big offline event in Brazil, and of course, we're going to be there, not in person, but we're going to be there to cover it here on our channel in English. As always, Papi is always there for the Brazilian scene, and I'm looking forward to it. I know that they were able to crowdfund enough money to pay for travels, to pay for, I should say, not necessarily accommodation, but for travel costs, just because, as you can imagine, Brazil is a pretty massive country, and their player base is spread out pretty widely amongst the country itself, so they're going to be able to pay for train tickets and get players from one end to the other and get everyone involved. And yeah, I look forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. The best of the best in Brazil will be there, and it's going to be on our players like Master, like Dominoko, and everyone else involved in this tournament to be in peak condition for that offline event. Let's go. Meanwhile, we do have a Link Flood. Link Flood moves out. The Oracle does come across this. We do see Master responding, which means this third base should be fine. The Stalker is going to be less than ideal, and the Lings, they do dive on top of the Stalker, but with the help of the Oracle, the Stalker will survive. Stalker does survive. Likewise, Adept shades back across, does fully roll off. Adept should be safe and sound, and so far Mastery defends well. Likewise, behind this, Stargate opener into Oracle into what? We're actually going to be delaying and skipping the second and third Oracle. Okay, so no additional Oracle production into a faster Twilight Council. Robo, I don't see a Forge. This is looking a little bit more committed here from Master. Yeah, early mortal production. Okay, mortals are building up early on. Safety sentries. This is not a standard follow-up. We would often typically see a prioritization of Blink into Forge, into +1, into the mid-game, followed by any further tech, but this is going to be Charge instead. I mean, seeing the Robo and seeing the Gateway Explosion this early on here is a bit of a tell that something is wrong, but alas, our Zerg player here still only has a piece of the puzzle. But this is going to be more aggressive here for Master. Is going to be more aggressive. It is going to be a charge timing. Again, the lack of Forge tells us that we don't really have a lot of longevity, or don't have anything planned later on in this game. There's less longevity in this build. There's no upgrades, no +1. The Temple Archives is on the way. I believe this is lined up to morph in Archons just in time for charge. So you can warp in those High Templar, morph in those Archons, and commit. Forge is on the way. Okay, a later Forge here. Interesting. So this later Forge is giving, at least me, mixed signals. So we'll see if Master commits to a move out, or if he slowly expands and gets a fourth base, slowly gets into his Archons, into +1. Gateways are being thrown down, but we'll see if he makes use of it. We'll see if he actually warps in, or if he skips his warpings. That's a lot of gates. That's a lot of gates on the way. Going to be an 8-gate setup here from Dominoko, starting with Master. Dominoko back at home is playing Roach, getting his Roach speed, +1 range, droning up, saturating his third base, soon getting his fourth base for Larva. Decent economic setup. Decent. Phoenix Open, okay. This is actually how Master plays against Eric, if you recall. Storm is being researched. It looks like Master is going to take a fourth base. But if you recall, Eric is very fond of going for Spire. He's very fond of going for Spire play. So very often Master would open Oracle into Phoenix just to have a blind Phoenix ready for that sort of thing, and just to be ready for any kind of crazy Muta switch. So this is an adaptation that Master has done for Eric at least. Interesting that he's doing it here against Dominoko as well. He's not going to be making any more. Just having that Phoenix to support. Likewise, Dominoko, I don't see a fourth base yet, so we're going to be lacking production here. Typically, even if we're going to be cutting worker production at 3 base saturation, it is wise to get a fourth base, even just for Larva. So this is going to slow Dominoko down. As he's still building up, still has not droned up any further. and does for the fourth. He confirms the fourth base. Now, this fourth base from Master is a little bit later. Remember, he went up to 8 gates and he went towards Storm and Forge and went for all this tech before expanding and getting a fourth. So this fourth base is late, but this army is very robust. It almost looks like Master was expecting aggression out of his opponents and it never really came. I mean, it's on the way now, but at this point it's too late. Storm is done. Storm is done. The immortal count is very high. It's very healthy. Archons as well. We have Dominoko moving in, but I'm not so sure he can get much done here. Yeah, Storm pops off. At the same time, Zelramite does hit the fourth base. The fourth base is going to be denied. Again, the fourth base was delayed here for the Zerg. Another Storm popping off. Nice force. Oh, sorry, nice stasis trap. Herald's moving to spread creep. They're going to be shut down. Master, he will defend. That fourth base was killed. Cancelled. Fourth base was cancelled. Dominoko trying to move in. As they'll say, break down the fourth base. They sip to the mineral line. Dominoko's supply block. He just lost all those overlords. Oof. Yeah, rough supply block here for the Zerg. No overlords on the way. There we go. 5 overlords now in production. And this does drag him back home, and this is just giving the Protoss more time. And now we're in a really rough game state for the Zerg player, because what's happening, well, our Zerg player here is down on bases. He's on a 3-base saturated economy here. 4th base is now on the way. Meanwhile, the 4th base is done for Master. Master, he has 90 probes. He has a booming economy. He's getting a large army, getting a 5th expansion, which is going to be denied at least. But Master doesn't even need a 5th base. Ooh, that's a kill. That's a kill, not a cancel. Likewise, almost overextends. Master, he's going to be careful not to be too wasteful. Master, he can afford to throw away some bases, that is true, but still has to be careful nonetheless. Doesn't want to throw away too much. Stargate's on the way. As we mentioned at the start of the game, Master is willing to take up into Skytos, into the late game. And Master has been pretty defensive this entire game. Despite the opener, and despite the faster charge and faster immortals, he's staying at home. He's staying on his side of the map. And so far, he is overwhelmed. He's overwhelming Dominoko. Dominoko, he's feeling desperate to get some kind of damage. Behind this, taking up into Hydras, Lurkers, Hive Tech. But this does feel late. Feels late for Dominoko. Ooh, brutal storm on the Ravagers. Storms. Oh my god, another storm. Oh, the Ravagers are going to be going down. Brutal pickoffs. Dominoko, he will lose everything here. Tries to move forward, but lastly, Roach Ravager melts. GG gets called, and Master, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Master, he will take a lead in this series. Again, a solid game. I assumed that he was going to be a little bit more aggressive, but no, Master, who was pretty defensive, pretty passive. He did delay his economy as a result. His 4th base was late, but it was worth it because, hey, Dominoko, his 4th base was also late as well. He had cut workers earlier on. He was trying to be somewhat aggressive, but it feels like he missed his timing. He missed his timing. He missed that window, and Master did snowball out of control. With that, we're now getting into game number 2. Let's go. Getting into game 2, we'll see if Dominoko can bounce back as we load into Crossline. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Crossline, we have our blue Protoss player leading the series 1-0 from the land of Brazil. It is Master. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player representing Eximius Gaming. It is Dominoko. Whack or that. Let's go. Down in the series, we'll see if we can bounce back. We are loading into a larger map, true. The rush distance by ground is longer here on Frostline as opposed to ley lines, so we're going to be able to, build up a greater economy potentially and get into a longer game state. Maybe go for a bit of a different approach here, or even something more aggressive. We'll see. Now, when it comes to Frostline, some of the big features here. One, the rush distance by ground is long. True, it is longer than that of lane lines, but at the same time the bases are more exposed. I'm referring to this third base here, the linear third base or the triangular third base as well. Both bases are much more open, they have very wide ramps, they have a lot of space, a lot of area. Same on the right hand side, 2 ramps coming into the base, a much larger arc here is available for the aggressing player, so it is difficult to defend on this map. We have seen many a Protoss player try and fail to be defensive on Frostline. We'll see how they approach this. We do often see players like Max and Hero try to make up for the less defendable bases with more stacked defense, throwing down like cannons and shield batteries and turtling up quite hard to make up for just how open these areas are. So we'll see if Master does the same. Likewise, we'll see how Dominoko will change his approach. For now, settling in, getting into our opener. Natural base is done, and opening up with our queens, lings, and droning. So far, pretty standard, nothing crazy. Likewise, Frostline, outside of that, the bases are also very spread out. They're very isolated from each other, whether it's the third, the fourth, even the fifth base, very spread out bases. Because of that, being the aggressor on this map allows you to kind of poke, prod, choose where to attack, and it can be quite difficult to keep up with army rotations, especially because we have this center area where you can go in between the bases as well. So that is where a player like Dominoko can try to pull Master apart. I mean, it goes both ways, true. I'm making the assumption that Dominoko is going to have map control again, which is what he did have last game. He was the aggressor. Behind this is going to be a Stargate opener here by Master. Will be that Stargate opener. And we do have our Link Scout coming in from Dominoko. Potentially getting a probe kill so far. Nice control. Mastery pulls away. Saves the one probe. Stepped across the map, forcing out all these spore crawlers. It does deal some damage, even getting a drone in the main. Oh, 2 drone kills in total. Can we get 3? We can. 3 drone kills, and we force out, what, 3 spore crawlers cancelled at the natural, even another spore crawler in the main. Ooh, Dominoko going for the main bust. He's taken a lot of damage. His decision to go for the bust, to go for the all-in. We have 16 lings on the way, and we'll see if he can break Master here and now. Now, it is difficult to break a Protoss player with a Bane bust, specifically if they, or especially when they have a Stalker. Does it take 11 Banelings? Especially with the shield battery behind this, I think it's 11 Banelings to kill a Stalker. I've actually seen situations where, especially because of that shield battery, it's actually easier to break a gateway instead of the Stalker. But Stalkers are very robust. They're very robust, they're very tanky. It's not easy to break this position. Oracle dives in. We'll get a couple of drone kills, 2, 3 drones going down. Here come the Banelings, 7 Banelings so far. That is not enough. These pylons are going to be a weaker position here. Likewise, we do confirm lack of drones. So Master, upon hitting that mineral line, he saw barely any workers at the natural. He knows something is wrong. Lings are filing in. Here come the Banelings. But there are force fields. Yeah, there are force fields here. Banelings they're going to be denied. Cybercore is getting surrounded. Looks like it's going to go down. There is another force field. Oof. Never mind. The force field once again saves the Cybercore. Very well placed. Cybercore finally does fall. Lings are flooding in. But now we have more shield batteries. Shield batteries are finishing up one after the other. Another force field. There's no more lings. Sorry, I should say there's no more Banelings. Yeah, lings are being denied. Gateway can be saved. And Master holds. Mastery completely shuts us down. GG gets called. Master, he will defend. And Master will take the series 2-0. GG. Ooh. GG, well played. Master, he will advance on to the grand finals. Dominoko, he is knocked down to the lower bracket finals. Again, it was just a really rough start for Master. Upon losing 3 workers, upon being forced to, denied mining time, forced to cancel all those spore crawlers, did decide to go for the all-in. But again, it is very difficult to Banebuster your opponent. Shout out to Master though, because it wasn't a blind defense. Remember, Master, he went for the Oracle Harass, he was able to cripple the economy. Not just that, he also did take note of the lack of workers. He saw how few drones there were at the natural, so he was able to confirm and piece together that it was going to be an all-in. Maybe we didn't exactly know it was going to be a Bane bust. Technically, there could have been like a Roach Warren in the main that was hidden. Regardless, he was walling up, walling off, shield batteries as well, force fields, and defending quite nicely. GG. GG, well played. Master, he does defend, he does claim the first series, and that leads us into the lower bracket. Into the lower bracket semifinals. Again, Dominoko is going to be waiting for the winner of this series. We're going to be jumping into a TVP. KranKy versus Allison. Let's go. Allison, of course, being one of the cheesiest Protoss players in all of Brazil, feels Turkey Dano. I know Turkey Dano, he once had that title, but has since retired, unfortunately. I miss my turkey. I miss it. But here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the Brazilian Terran player. Oh. There we go. We have the Brazilian Terran player, the Teal Terran. It is KranKy. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Brazilian Protoss player, the red Protoss representing team The Bad. It is Allison. You know what's crazy? I'm pretty sure Allison was on Eximius Gaming for a long time, and switching over to Team The Bad was a recent change. And it has been a long time. It's been a long time since I've seen this team logo on a player. It's been so long. I miss it. I feel like it's 2020 again. Oh my god. For those that maybe don't remember, The Bad is a Brazilian team. It used to be a lot more active. I'm pretty sure the Zerg Lord was on The Bad, alongside some of the other Brazilian players, maybe even some other international or Latin American players in general. Fun fact, this actually used to be a proper just straight up Grim Reaper, but after COVID hit, they added the COVID mask. So they did add the mask. Back in, I guess, 2020 now, and since then I guess they've left it on, so it's been a long time since I've seen The Bad logo. So it's cool to see that they're still active. It's cool to see that, Allison did recently join them. Meanwhile, Brutal eBay block here at the natural, a lot of progression, late scouts, late realization of what's going on, Zelt's on the way, but it's going to take a long time to expand. A brutal start here for Allison across the map. Does go for the gas steal though. Does gas steal. I forgot about Turkey, brings back memories. True. Oh no. That's when Yoda, that's when we found out that about the turducken. Which is crazy, by the way, where apparently you have a massive turkey, and then you put a chicken in the turkey, and then you put a duck in the chicken. You have the turducken. Which is insane. Oh god. Este Turkey Dano. But if you remember, he used to cannon rush all the time. He was just like almost a pure cannon rusher and cheeser in general. Feels Turkey Dano, man. But from here, Allison does eventually expand. Despite Allison being a very aggressive player himself and very cheesy so far, going for a standard opener, very late expansion is what I will say, but settling in. Likewise across the map, KranKy going for his own racks into factory into CC on the high ground, opening up a reactor to Hellion Reaper. Oh, and the goal here for KranKy should be to get economic damage. See if he can get across. See if he can get across. Meanwhile, Tyler counts opener here out of Allison. Into Blink, most likely. So gas is going to go down. Likewise, second racks, third. Oh my god, this is looking like a 2-base all-in. We have a 3-rack setup here before the starport, winding it back, and why I would say that this is an all-in here, typically you go for an earlier starport. Right now, we are intentionally delaying the starport, delaying medevac production, delaying any kind of supportive units in favor of what? In favor of a mass bio army, and I would imagine earlier tanks as well, earlier cyclones. But again, a big prioritization of units here overall into earlier stim, into earlier combat shields, into an earlier move out. Meanwhile, Kamikaze does dive in. Oh! Yeah, rushes past the natural, going for the mineral line, going for the main, and the probes are exposed. Yeah, 3 Hellions can one-shot workers. We have 4 Hellions in the mineral line. Probes are going to be going down. Yeah, no SimCity, no Warlock. And that's going to be 11 probe kills already. This is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand. 14 probes go down. Ay, ay, ay. 14 workers, 15 probe kills. Oh, and at this point, this is already paid for itself. Already more than paid for itself. And again, not enough stalkers, no SimCity here, no Warlock, 15 probe kills. And we're not done. We spoke about the all-in earlier. Here it comes. We have the add-on swap, safety cyclone into what? Into double tech lab, stim, and combat shields. So there's going to be very strong timing here with these upgrades. Building up the bio. Starport is now on the way. We should be seeing a reactor on this factory to go for an add-on swap into reactor medevac production. Oh, safety wouldn't mind. Okay, never mind. No reactor yet. Now, the reason why the Cyclone was researched and the Cyclone was built as it's gonna pull away is because at the time Kamikaze didn't scout. He scouted with the Hellions. He didn't know if it was a Stargate or a Twilight Council, so the Cyclone was for safety just in case there was gonna be like an Oracle opener or a Phoenix opener. So it was more of a safety measure than anything here from Kamikaze. Behind this, there's a reactor. Medevac's on the way. Now, because he made the Widowmine, there's no add-on swap. Typically, instead of making the Widowmine, you'd make a reactor, and then once the starport is done, you swap to make 2 medevacs at a time to move out with everything. So this is a little bit inefficient here from Kamikaze, as he does delay his medevacs. But again, just to be a little bit more secure, I mean, he's got double bunker at the natural, he's got the Widowmine as well. How many gateways are there? There's a 3-gate setup. Basically, Kamikaze, this looks like he's blindly getting ready for even 4-gate blink. We know it's not, but again, Kamikaze just maybe afraid that he would have forced an all-in. I don't blame him. After killing a mineral line, after killing 15 probes, I would have expected an all-in as well. As Allison is in a rough position. Allison is still behind economically. You can see here only 8, now 9 probes in the main base mineral line. Drop coming in. Upgrades still just now finishing up. And while he distracts, he does drop in. 2 Marauders do go down. That was a little bit wasteful here from Kamikaze, but he should get some probe kills. Ooh, not quite. Only gets 2. Only gets 2. Here we go. The army has amassed. Now, Kamikaze did throw away 2 of his Marauders, and that is a big part of the backbone of his army, unfortunately. So this army is significantly weaker without those 3 Marauders, down to 1. But looks like he's getting his 3rd base on location. He is moving out. And can Allison survive this push? Right now, 0 splash damage. The bay is only now on the way. And again, this is all late. This is all delayed because of all that economic damage. Remember, it was 18 probe kills in total. That was brutal. Just a really brutal start. And Allison has not recovered from then. Since then. Has not recovered. Kamikaze moving in. Going for the double drop into the main. Does drop in. Going for the forge, going for the tank. Lost 1 is going to be denied. That could even go for the bay. I just trading with the army instead. Now falling back. Yep, does target down the heroic bay, which means no more Colossus. There's 1 Colossus in production. And Allison can't really keep up with this. Now, thankfully, again, no Marauders. No Marauders with this, so the Marines, they don't have enough firepower, they don't have enough DPS. Kamikaze's forced back. Behind this though, still has momentum. Third base is almost done and still rallies. We're still not making Marauders actually, so that is a mistake here from Kamikaze, especially against a very heavy Stalker composition. A handful of Marauders can go a long way. They do so well here against a gateway army like this without charge. So the DPS output, the damage output here of this army from Kamikaze isn't really that great. It's not amazing. Likewise, the first Colossus has arrived. Without Marauders, he cannot dive in the Colossus. Yeah, now we finally have Marauders on the way, but these are late. And Allison is holding. Oh. Allison is holding on. Wouldn't mind's forced to burrow. To use the connections. Oof. No retargeting, thankfully. You want to drop into the main. Forces a recall, gets 6 probe kills. Kamikaze did at least save those medevacs. And you can see, oh, there's. From there, we just tap out. I was about to say that we're making 4-6 Marauders at a time, and Allison does tap out. No third base, no longevity in this game. GG. GG, well played. Kamikaze will take the first game, and it was just a really rough start there for Allison. Just losing so many workers at the start of the game. Remember, 18 probes in total. It was 15 to the Hellion run by and a couple more throughout the course of the early game, but 18 workers in total went down. That is game-ending damage, and Kamikaze could do whatever he wanted from there. Could do whatever he wanted. Now we're getting into our next game. Americans and their crazy ideas. True. No. Leave the turkey alone. As we're getting into our next game. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Frostline, we have our blue Terran player from Atlanta, Brazil, leading the series 1-0. Let me just quickly fix up our player names here. It is Kamikaze. Once again, moving out with the SCV. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Brazilian Protoss player representing Team The Bad. It is Allison. Ooh, and this time the SCV does hug the edge here towards the left-hand side. Should be waiting for the probe to move out, but no, never mind. Is going for the proxy racks. Interesting location. Now, because it's hugging the wall here, it looks like we're not setting up for any kind of proxy marauder play. Just looks like proxy reaper with a bunker more than anything, so not too committed here, but this should be designed to get an economic lead early on, to pick away at the workers, to get a bunker up and running, and to delay that expansion. We're going for the cannon. Let's go. We spoke about Turkey Downer earlier, and again, I did try to say at the start of the series that Allison is usually a cheesy player. Allison did not live up to those expectations in game 1, but here in game 2, let's go. Forge on the way, setting up the pylons here on the low ground, getting ready here for the cannon rush. Let's go. Send it, pappy, send it. Now, the problem here, I love what's happening. I love that we're attempting a cannon rush. The problem, there is a gateway at home, thankfully, but things are looking a little bit dire here. There's no safety shield battery. There's no reason for that. Allison didn't check. If Allison went up the ramp first to see, there's no racks. There's no racks in the main. That would have been a tell that something was wrong. Allison does not know that there's Reapers coming in and that we're about to deal devastating damage. There's nothing to defend. There's nothing here. He can pull the boys, that is true, but that's all he can do. He can pull the boys. He can try to chrono out his zealots, or chrono an adept, I should say. Cannon finishing up across the map. Here comes the Reaper. And, oh boy, the boys are being pulled. Can they get around? If Kamikaze does mess up his control, if he gets surrounded, then that can be game. Or then, I mean, we can see a defense. But now there's going to be 2 probe kills. Adept is being chronoed. More Reapers on the way. That's going to be a 3rd probe going down. The Reaper does take a lot of hits. It gets 4 probes. And we'll see if he can get another. Again, there we go. First Reaper does fall. Cannon rush continues. Proxy Stargate? Proxy Void Ray? Let's go. Second Reaper dives in. Oh, does overextend. Has to pull away. Has to pull back. Meanwhile, back at home in the main base, I'm curious, Kamikaze should recognize, hold up, there's no expansion. There's no expansion. There is the forge, right? Yeah, the forge is a huge tell. He saw the forge, he knows that something is wrong. Ideally, should open up Cyclone.
We were looking forward to this add-on.
Tech Lab is done. I think that was Wyra, by the way. Tech Lab is done. We have a safety turret on the way. Yeah, he sees. Yeah, he sees the shield batteries. He knows. He knows what's going on. Oh, opening up tank. I mean, the tank does help. The tank can actually shell away at those shield batteries, but he needs anti-air. I guess the turret is going to support the tank. Void Ray has arrived. The Void Ray will barely delay that turret. Just barely. Oh my god. 99% done. And the turret is going to survive the repairs. Repairs are good enough. Whew. Repairs are barely good enough here. Void Ray force bank. Tank has arrived. Vikings on the way. And the tank, yep, is within range. Tank is within range. Bit of a supply block here for Kamikaze. We have the fleet beacon on the way. That should be for Proxy Tempest. But the shield batteries are going down. Yeah, they're both within range. Shield batteries are going to be going down. More Cyclones in production. Marines as well. Does break out of the supply block. First Tempest is on the way. Kamikaze does scout. And right now we're just massing on more Vikings, more Cyclones. Kamikaze has plenty of time. Nothing is really threatening him. The Tempest can be a problem, and there are true shield batteries, thankfully, but again, there's just not a lot of DPS here. See the main base repositioning. As we could do with extra Vikings. Okay. Add-on swap. Add-on swap into reactive Viking production. Kamikaze going for a ninja base. Let's go. Ninja base on the way. Oh, catching out the Void Ray. Massive hiccups. Taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage. As shield barrier here within range, just barely. The Void Ray will survive. Takes down, I believe, one. Oh, not quite. Doesn't quite catch a Viking. Second Tempest has arrived. But again, it's going to be all about those Vikings. This one we can support with some fire, with some Marines. Now muling up. Ooh, we'll get supply blocks. We do need backup depots. Depot is going to go down. No more depots on the way. Just now being thrown down. Brutal supply block. Reactor under fire. Kamikaze just falling back with those Raxes. Pulling back his production. Oh. So gonna try to engage. Now we are getting up to 4 Tempests. 4 Tempests. We have a good amount of cannons and shield batteries now on the low ground. Like, this is a pretty well entrenched position for those Tempests. But can they get on top of the production is the problem. Like, the production is pretty safe. It's pretty far back. The problem here is that these Tempests, they're not really being supported here by those shield batteries. Unless they go closer. So the Tempests are quite limited with where they can go. At least not without more shield batteries to support. Now the tank gets forced further back. Because the tank is further back into the mineral line. We should be pushing forward. Like, Allison should be pushing forward with more shield batteries, with more cannons, and gaining a greater foothold, maybe even on the high ground. Without it, yeah, Vikings, they get the first kill. 1 Tempest goes down. Boys are being pulled to repair. To repair. We do have a weird ground transition here as another Tempest goes down, getting 2 shots. What do I mean by that? Blink. Blink is on the way, +1, a gateway explosion, all off of 1 base. Technically, because Kamikaze is so heavily reliant here on these Vikings, this ground switch could work. That's my biggest concern. It's right now, it's just pure Viking production. It's pure Vikings. No Cyclones, no Marines. The Ninja base is kind of getting up and running. Kind of. We have gases at least. Scan reveals no more Tempest. That's a tell. That is a tell. And there we go. Yeah, now we're switching into ground. Tech lab on the way for tanks. Another racks. Marine production. This is late. This is kind of like a late switch here into a ground army, but at least it's on the way. Yeah, they just hunts down the Tempest. At this point, Vikings, they can just counterattack. They can get across the map. There are Stalkers at home to defend, though. And they're looking. They're looking for Ninja bases before moving out. And we'll see what Allison can get done with these Stalkers. Blink is finishing up. +1 as well. Allison, he has plenty to break out and to deal with that bunker. Vikings on the way. Ideally, as Allison breaks out, the Vikings move in. That would be the hope. Do you feel like Allison is respecting this bunker a little bit too much? And Kamikaze scanning, looking for bases. Heads into the main. Stalkers are ready. Waiting for the land. There it is. He blinks in. He blinks in. He shuts down the Vikings. A nice dive here from Allison. We'll clean every single Viking up. Ooh, and Kamikaze, he does plummet in supply. Plummets in supply. Now Allison can expand, knock down that bunker. Another scan in the same location. Allison can now take that Nexus. Likewise, moving out across the map, but all these cannons of Hubert are still not dealt with. Could even try to dive on the tank, actually. Bearing in mind that these Marines, they're vanilla Marines that don't have stim yet. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. More Marines moving in. Stim finishing up in 10 seconds, just in time. Allison missing that window, missing that opportunity to dive in. Going for it now. 3 seconds. There we go. Blinks forward. Doesn't target fire. The tank goes to the bio. Breaks through. And boys are being pulled. Kamikaze barely has an army. Allison may have just done it. Takes down the Marauder. SCV's going to be falling as well. There is one tank in the back line. Yeah, but again, losing all his Vikings was brutal. Kamikaze, he was baited in. He was baited. And Allison going for the final dive. It does focus down that tank. Stims. Okay, sorry. The bio army does punish. Marines, Marauders, they do punish. Stalker's going to be falling. Kamikaze does at least have that ninja base. He's holding his own. Now, to my surprise, Allison hasn't expanded. Allison has had the opportunity to. Has had the opportunity, but has chosen not to expand. So still completely one base all in, which means if this army goes down, he can't replace it. Boys are being pulled. There's only a couple of Marauders though. Oh, nice control. Saves the Marauders. Does juggle back. Very nicely done. Lose 16 SCVs in the process. But still has that second base. Another tank has arrived. Nice volley goes off. Kamikaze barely holding on. +1 about to finish. This one is almost done. Stims in. Gets another Stalker. Nice pick off. GG gets called. Allison never expanded, never did take that natural, was completely all in, and he was forced out. GG. That was so... He almost did it. He almost broke the main base. He was so close to breaking this position. but barely did not have enough. Wow, GG. GG, well played. Kamikaze does claim it. Again, I do feel like Allison had the opportunity to expand if need be, but chose not to, did double down, did commit. Obviously another part of this, if Allison knew there was a ninja base, would have dealt with it, would have shut it down, maybe would have expanded himself, but that ninja base was never found. GG. GG, well played. Kamikaze will claim the series, and with that, Kamikaze will advance on into the lower bracket finals. Let's go. Let us go. Now, as a reminder, we were covering Dominoko earlier. Dominoko was being casted earlier. And Dominoko, he went down to Master in the upper bracket finals, which means we can feature him here and now. Dominoko, he has been patiently waiting here for his next opponent. Bam. Beautiful. Now up against Kamikaze. Now, I don't know if I'm ready for this mentally. Kamikaze facing off against Dominoko. These two have faced off many times in the past. And what I will say here is that we often have very long games. Our Terran player is very fond of mech against Zerg. Very fond of mech. So I'm a little bit concerned. What I'm going to be stepping into. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Leylines, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the blue Terran. It is Kamikaze. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player from Brazil, representing Zimi's Gaming. It is Dominoko. He's sleepy, just wants to bed. But we have casted these face off many times. Again, they do face off quite often in these Brazilian tournaments, whether they're Host Open, Amantes, or even Code for Giants Cup. And they're often long games, very long, late game, mech versus Zerg, maxed out armies. It happens quite often. I'm sure it'll happen at some point in this series as well. When exactly, though, well, we're here to find out. And you know, potentially Kamikaze could play Bio every now and then. Does dip his toes into Bio. Copium. 2-on-1 inbound. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I would appreciate it. I would like that, actually, very much. I don't think we're gonna get it, but you know, it's possible. It's possible. Ooh, as Kamikaze, no SCV Scout, and no Reaper Scout. Marine first, which means he's preserving his gas. CC on the high ground, by the way, so very safe opener. Building up those Marines, getting to his factory, and we'll see where he goes from here. Oh boy. Now, part of me wants to say, okay, because he skipped his Reaper, because he's got Marines early on, this could lead into a 2-1-1, where he will have extra Marines early on, and he can try and hit a really strong stim timing. This can be possible here. We'll see. For now, as he's building up his Marines, the first goal should be to hunt down this Overlord. We'll see if we can get it. Factory's on the way. Delayed Reaper. Interesting that he's still getting the Reaper. Dominoko, he scouts, no expansion, pulls away. He overreacts, going for the Spine Crawler. Ooh, he believes it's a proxy. He's checking. He's checking your Lings. They check the third, they check the fourth. Overlord here on the north side as well. Safety Spine Crawler is terrified of a proxy, but we know it's anything but. The Marines are moving out, hunting down any Overlords. Overlord speed. Wait, hold. Okay, Overlord speed on the way. That's quite expensive. That's Overlord speed before Ling speed. Okay, Dominoko, okay. Reaper gets spotted. Marines, can they find an Overlord? Ling is gonna go down. And this Overlord, can we escape? Up! Not quite. Yeah, barely not. The Overlord does go down. Brutal supply block here for Dominoko. Yeah, brutal supply block. Now, typically, if you delay Ling speed this heavily, you're probably going to go into faster lair into Roaches, most likely, what I'm leaning towards here from Dominoko. Meanwhile, 1-1-1 out of Kamikaze, out on swap here into Hellions. Yeah, we spoke about the fast lair. 2-base lair here from Dominoko. We're popping off. We're crazy. Rushing into the lair. Reaper does check the main, heads to the natural. The Reaper will confirm the lair timing. So, big scout here from Kamikaze. does spot the lair. Now, if I know Dominoko, this should be for roach play. This should be to like rush into roaches and rush into roach speed. Meanwhile, with Overlord speed, he does dive in for a full scout. He will confirm the 1-1-1. At least attempts to. Yeah, he does see the add-on swap into Banshee. Does spot Cloak. He's looking further in for a fusion core. Don't blame him. Kamikaze is not a stranger to fusion core BC play into mech. Yeah, there, god damn it. There it is. He cancels Cloak. He throws down the fusion core. It is going to be BC into mech. Yeah. I mean, again, Dominoko, he was looking for it, but alas, I mean, he in a way confirmed the opener, and we see a hard switch into BC. Oh boy. Now, we do have confirmation as well that Dominoko, he's going to base layer into roach play. So, as we mentioned, this is typically how he does play, is roaches, and especially against Kamikaze, because he's known for mech, roaches are going to be ideal, but he will need that Spire to defend against the BCs. Unfortunately, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. He should get some Spore Crawlers, though. Again, he saw the Banshee tech, so we should be seeing Spores, we should be seeing some anti-air, some stack defense. Whether it's going to be enough for a battle cruiser, yet to be determined. Yamato on the way. Yamato's in production. Drop Lord has morphed in. With that Drop Lord, Dominoko, he might not drone up that third base. He might be pushing with roaches and with queens. Assuming that Drop Lord wasn't a mistake. Hellion Banshee does rotate. Yeah, it's intentional. Drop Lord's moving in, gets spotted. Does have that micro potential. Starting away the Banshee. There's a transfuse. Kamikaze, upon seeing the Drop Lord, he backs off. He realizes how much danger he's in, and here comes the all-in. Dominoko, he does not drone. No droning, no saturations, all or nothing here for Dominoko. And can he break the natural? Now, pure Hellion doesn't trade well. Does not trade well against Roach Queen. The BC, different story. Now, if Kamikaze can focus on the queens one after the other, then there'll be no anti-air. So these 4 queens are the one thing keeping this going. Oh, flash transfuse. Banshee takes a lot of hits. Banshee gets started down. Nice pickup. Banshee does 4 BC. Oh no! The BC teleports in. Biles do connect. BC getting very low. Yamato not quite done. And the BC is forced back. Again, really nice Biles. Biles. Oh my god. They create the Hellbats. Queens are being targeted. Mass repair in the BC. Kamikaze holds. Kamikaze, he does hold. There's not enough anti-air. The Queens are going down one after the other. Very nice repair here on the battlecruiser. And Dominoko is just running out of steam, running out of army. He is getting some SCV kills, but remember, Dominoko, he was all in. He was all in. There was no droning, no saturation. Some better damage towards the end. Getting 6 SCV kills. 7. Getting him to 8. Getting him to 9. 10. Not bad. 10 SCVs go down. Evening up the worker count. Kamikaze is still ahead economically. And there are the factories. Again, we assumed it was going to be mech. We had a little bit of hopium. That it was going to be bio, but no. It's Kamikaze, papi. He only mechs it up. And now we're up to 2 BCs. Yamato is complete. The Spire is almost done, and with help of the Spire, we should be able to get some Corruptors up and running. But I do worry for the third base, especially with 2 Yamatos available. Like, this third base is in a lot of trouble here. Roaches, they move back in. There's not much to defend back at home, and then a couple of Hellions. Nice repair. Oh no, not in time. As the cooldown supply was a little bit too late, boys are being pulled, so he's going to be going down. BCs, they don't go for the third, they go for the natural instead. And Corruptor's about to pop. Corruptor's there, halfway done. Shows those Yamatos. Yamato on the Queen, Yamato on the Spore. Takes over the natural. Ooh, even more economic damage. Roaches, they try to bust in, they get 10 SCV kills. But remember, teleport is available. They can always teleport back home. There's the first teleport. Snipes the Queens. We should see another teleport. Up! Oh my god, a little bit too late. Whew. Does catch 1 battlecruiser. Once again, Kamikaze late to pull the trigger. There thankfully are some roaches. There's some roaches that defend, but Hellions, they rush past regardless. Yeah, they rush into the mineral line. Versus some drones. Oh, the drones are lining up. Oh my god. 6 drone kills. 6 workers go down. And now we're going into battle mech. We're going to mass Cyclone Hellion. BC did survive. Corruptors get punished. And Dominoko is in a worse position. He's down in the worker count. He's down in economy. Kamikaze's got more SCVs plus mules. He's got his 3rd base up and running. Likewise, Battlecruiser did survive, which means Dominoko has to... he's got a decent corruptor count, so doesn't have to remake, thankfully. But he doesn't have the best army here for Cyclone. Mass Cyclone. Dominoko, he has to recover. And Kamikaze so far looking solid. Oh, Blue Flame is done. Oh god, Blue Flame is complete. Roasting up another, what, 4 drones. Getting up to 5. 5 more drones go down. Dominoko, he needs more time to rebuild. You see moving in. Here come the Cyclones. Here come the Cyclones, baby. Let's go. They force their way into the bases. Roaches, they get 1 Cyclone. Ooh, for 3. Yeah, for 3 roaches. There we go. 2nd Cyclone goes down. Losing up to 8. Oh, god. 8 roaches do fall. Yeah, you can see how brutal lock-ons are. They take down every single roach. Again, roaches, they don't really trade well against cyclones. You need lings. Lings are coming in, but they're too late. Ideally, ling roach, the way that it works is that lings tank the lock-on. So lock-ons get wasted on lings, and then the roaches get the DPS done. But they just were too late. The lings were too late, and the roaches were shut down completely. And now Dominoko's being broken. GG gets called. Kamikaze, he will snowball out of control and take game number 1. Ooh, GG. Kamikaze, he will take the first game. Again, a very chaotic game 1, very back and forth. We had, of course, Dominoko opening up with 2 base roach all in. It was a drop lord all in with his queens. Meanwhile, we had a BC opener at a Kamikaze. Very chaotic, very intense. In the end, Kamikaze does come out on top, and now we are getting into game number 2. Let's go. We'll see how this story ends. We'll see if we get an ace match or if Kamikaze does claim it here and now. Up next, Frostline. God damn it. This morning, in the bottom left-hand corner of Frostline, we have our blue Terran player. We have our blue Terran from Brazil leading the series 1-0. And we'll see if he can take it here and now. It is Kamikaze. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg himself representing Eximius Gaming. It is Dominoko. We go. So we are building up. Dominoko going to be opening up hatch first. Of course, it was last game that Dominoko did initialize his own all-in, going for 1.5 base all-in, mass roaches. We'll see how we do approach it this time. Likewise, Kamikaze, he could actually open up Banshee this time, doesn't have to open BC. But we expect mech, 100%. 100% back. We expect mech in one shape or form or the other. We'll see. Now we're settling in. This time it is going to be a Reaper opener. Remember last game we did open up double Marine to hunt down the first Overlord. This time a Reaper first, so Kamikaze is mixing it up. Is mixing up his opener. Este spaguts, gracias, gracias. Less than 3. Less than 3. Good to see you. Take care, Pappy. Take care. As we are opening up, Reaper moves out. And we'll see if this time we even research Link speed. As a reminder, last game, it was Overlord speed first. It was crazy. Rushing into Pneumatized Carapace. Rushing into Overlord speed. I don't expect that again, but I mean, Dominoko, he has his own style. Reaper dips in. Ooh, doesn't get the drone. Barely morphs into the Spore. Likewise, Kamikaze does rotate. He's got the gas for Link speed. And he goes Overlord. He's crazy. He goes Overlord speed once again. Again, it just seems to be Dominoko's style to rush into Overlord speed. This is very expensive. It's a really inefficient way to play. Basically, what's happening here is that he's rushing to Overlord speed to be able to get the scout off. And what I will admit is that in game 1, we saw that this had 2 purposes. It was to scout, yes, but if you remember, he also turned this into a drop lord all-in. So there was actually value to be had in Overlord speed because it came into play later as well. But if we're only using this to scout, honestly, you can get the same amount of information without Overlord speed. Like with a regular Overlord, you can just dip in, you can confirm everything already. As he does confirm the tech lab on the factory, does confirm the Max floating, he does confirm mech. There's gonna be mech here. Roach Horn gets thrown down, Eva Chamber as well. Delayed third base in favor of the tech. As Kamikaze hunts down that Overlord, going for a third TC. Settling into a longer game. And Viking opener here as well, hunting down more Overlords. And we are getting Link speed. Okay, Link speed is on the way. Building up towards a more standard mid-game into Roach Ling. Meanwhile, yo, a shout out to Lunacy. Ga, baby, ga. Oh my god. Annyeong haseyo, baby. Annyeong haseyo. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Thank you. Thank you so much for the raid. And shout out to Lunacy, of course. Doesn't stream too often, so big shout out to Lunacy, Korean Protoss player. We often do cast and cover Lunacy quite often on the channel, quite often. 감사합니다. 감사합니다. As we have extra factories on the way, prioritizing Macfield accelerators, getting to those cyclones. Likewise, Dominoko building up his roaches. As we are still making our way into a longer game. Nice Locons going for the Queen. Queen gets caught out. Nice pick up here by Kamikaze. Once again, as we mentioned, Roaches on their own struggle against Cyclones. You need those links to try to bait those Locons. Another Queen goes down. Oh, that should not have happened. 2 Queen kills already. Lings, they catch one of the Cyclones. Thankfully, they get one. They're going for the other. Both Cyclones will fall. Nice surround. And no drones. Once again. Okay. Late droning here at the third base, but drones are still on the way. Very committed here from Dominoko. Massing up Lings. The wall is open. No Hellions to defend. Where are the Hellions? The Hellions are not here. Lings get a surround. Boys are being pulled. And the Cyclone, can he focus it down? Oh, not quite. Whew. Nice reaction. Kamikaze defends. Kamikaze defends. Dominoko massing up more Lings. Did somewhat drone, but still only on 2 bases. Only 2 base saturation. Barely anything here at the third. Dominoko is committed. Going for the Deepers. Still missing Lings. Locon's going to be brutal. He gets one of the Ravagers. Yeah, one Ravager goes down. Lings, they punish once again. Where are the Hellions? Where are the Hellions, Pappy? Cyclones are getting picked up one after the other. Better trades here for Dominoko. First Hellion does arrive. Gets surrounded. Oh, barely does escape. Does slip away. Hellion gets out. Deeper's going to be falling. Do we get the vials? Barely do. That's still an extensive trade there for Dominoko, bleeding out every single Ravager. Back at home, not really much mining going on here, not much saturation. Kamikaze still has the greater economy, higher SCV counts, mules on top of that. So better economy for the Terran. And Dominoko, he's still not really droning. He's still not droning, getting a 4th expansion just for larva, building on more roaches. Oh, and it's going to be going Roach into Roach Hydra. Okay, interesting. Hydra Ling can do okay against Battle Mech. It can be okay. I know a lot of pro players have messed around with this composition. Basically Ling Hydra Viper, which can have some mixed success. Does have mixed success here against Battle Mech, if we can get there. Is a big if. As you see Kamikaze rotating, massive lock-ons on the roaches once again. Where are the Lings? Oh my god, every roach is gonna go down. Ay ay ay. Yeah, the lock-ons are brutal. Another scan, and watch the roaches, they just pop. They just pop one after the other. They need support. They need that support, they're not getting it. Queens, they're gonna be falling as well. Brutal pickups, getting 5 queens! Oh my god. And this is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand at this point. Again, the roaches on their own, they're just so vulnerable here to the cyclones. Here we go, here come the Lings. But there's not enough of them. Yeah, there's just not enough Lings here. They're being shut down. Hellions coming to reinforce. Blue Flame is about to finish. And Dominoko cannot afford these losses. Cannot afford them. Just now getting into Hydra production. And at this point, it's just an uphill battle here for Dominoko. He just lost far too much. Does not have this economy either. Roaches are being overwhelmed, Hydras pop out, they are lacking upgrades. As every roach is falling, and the Hydras thereafter. Like the Hydras, they're just like the roaches, in the sense that you need Lings. You need those Lings. Without them, the Hydras, they die even faster. Roach 1 goes down. And we can see Dominoko trying to get into Ling Hydra. But it might just be too late here. Jeez, the lock-ons, they're crazy. But they almost get the expansion. The base gets very low. Hydra cannon's building up. True. Hydra cannon's building up. Massive heli volts here on the Lings. Just rotates, and then we're just running out of steam here. There's no more Lings remaining. Hydras, they get surrounded, they get shut down, and the base is gonna fall. Yeah, the base is gonna fall. There's no saving this. Workers being pulled away. Dominoko does have a backup 3rd, I suppose. But Kamikaze back at home is thriving, getting a 4th expansion on location, working towards drilling claws, advanced servos, sorry, smart servos. Production, more upgrades, mass starport, most likely into BC. And GG gets called. Kamikaze does overwhelm. Cyclone True. Cyclone Abuser. KKK. As Kamikaze will take the series 2-0. GG, well played, Kamikaze. He will claim it. Again, when it comes to Dominoko's approach to the series, unfortunately, he was just hyper committed. When it came to early roach aggression, it didn't really pay off. As we mentioned, unfortunately, there were just many times when he was caught with his lings in production, with specifically his roaches exposed, lings were in production, and engagements would occur too soon, too early for him, and he would bleed out so many roaches before he was really ready for the cyclones. And with that, he was just torn apart. He was just torn apart left and right, could not keep up, could not maintain himself. And with that, Kamikaze will advance on to the grand finals. GG, well played. We have our two finalists here. It is going to be the grand finals between Master and Kamikaze. It is going to be a Terran versus Protoss, and it's going to be a best of 7 grand finals. We will need a moment to set that up, so we're going to be going on a short break just before the finals. Again, a bit of a shorter broadcast here this morning, which I'm more than happy to embrace. But some shorter games, to be honest. We've had a lot of aggression, we've had a lot of cheese. Even with Kamikaze playing mech, because of how aggressive Dominoko was in that series, we never really got into the late game. We never really got, I'll be honest, Dominoko never got 4-base saturation, so even though we did have some mech, even though we had roach play, like it was often a lot of mid-game aggression, a lot more on a lower economy, at least on the Zerg side, so we didn't really get into any kind of split map scenario, never maxed out, never had those siege lines going or anything like that. A little more active. Instead. Regardless, GG well played, and with that, we're getting ready for those grand finals. We're going to be going on a short break. Take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, and hydrate all of your hydras. When we come back, we'll have that best of 7. See you soon. See you soon. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew, hope you enjoyed that lovely Brutal OC as we returned. We have returned here with the grand finals of the Host Open number 18. Again, this is a monthly tournament for the Brazilian scene, and we have our best of 7 finals ahead of us here. Mastery comes in from the upper bracket. That is why coming into this, Master does have a 1-point lead. He does have a 1-point advantage. Meanwhile, Kamikaze coming in from the lower bracket has to try to overcome that. So there is that one advantage here for Master, and coming into this as well, Master is the heavy favorite. He is the strongest Protoss player in all of Brazil, arguably in all of Latino America as well. Kamikaze is going to be a strong contender though. Now, something that I will say coming into this, we did see a little mech from Kamikaze in that TBZ, but only against Zerg. It is a rare sight to see mech against Protoss, so I do expect to see some more standard bio play instead at a Kamikaze. We saw that against Allison. We should see that here against Master as well. As opposed to Allison being crazy and chaotic, Allison went for a cannon rush into proxy Void Ray, into proxy Tempest. It was crazy what Allison went for. Master is a little bit more standard here. Is more standard in his approach, so we'll see how Kamikaze can break Master, if at all. We'll see. As we're jumping into game 1. Game 1 is going to be on ley lines. Let's go. Jumping into ley lines. And spawning in the top right hand corner of ley lines, we have our Brazilian Terran player, the blue Terran. Our challenger coming in, rising up from the lower brackets. It is a Kamikaze. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself from land of Brazil. It is Master. Here we go. We are going to be settling in, and we're calming things down. Now, my eyes are mainly going to be on Kamikaze. We definitely have seen him embrace these more aggressive builds, 2 base all-ins, 3 base all-ins, pull the boys sort of thing against other Protoss opponents. Again, Kamikaze is fully aware of the strength and the power of Master. We'll see if he does take that approach or does go for something more macro-oriented instead. We haven't really seen much macro games so far here in tonight's broadcast. We've always had an aggressor, whether it's Dorminoko, whether it's Kamikaze, whether it's Allison as well. We have just seen a lot more aggressive builds in general and a little more all-ins, so we'll see if we slow the game down a little bit here. We shall see. Meanwhile, double gas open out of Kamikaze going for a faster factory, so it racks a factory into a delayed CC, already a more sort of start. This can lead into Reacted Reaper Hellion, this can lead into committed mine drops, can lead into Banshee play. There's a lot of possibilities, a lot of avenues of tech available here to Kamikaze. We'll see what he goes for. For now, there's that factory. Technically, this can turn into a 1 base all-in, but I'm not too fond of the idea here. 1 base all-ins can be quite powerful on smaller maps. I'm thinking Whispers of Gold, I'm thinking El Dorado. Here on ley lines, the rush distance is a little bit longer, so we expect to see an expansion. As he's pulling out of gas. Pulls out of gas, back at home, standard opener. Just gate expand into Cybercore, or gate cyber expand. So we are settling in. West Reaper does move out. Kamikaze going for a CC on location, and there's no setup for an add-on swap, nothing like that. Going Reaper first into Reactor, which means, Widowmine, no Reacted Reaper Hellion, setting up for a mine drop instead. Okay, Reaper dips in, does not scout the tech, gonna be a Twilight Council after the Reaper leaves. Kamikaze still does not quite know what's going on. Could be a Stargate, Twilight Council, or Robo. And the Reaper is hunted down. A nice catch here from Master, he denies the scouts. Kamikaze gonna have to play this out safe. There's a starport. Widowmine into Tech Lab, so not going for a committed mine drop. Is going to be setting up here on the low ground, but here comes Master. His goal here is to delay the CC. The CC is exposed. Remember, the CC was delayed. Was delayed because of the opener. Adepts have arrived. There's that one Widowmine. Couple Marines in the main. Mine shot. Oh, does he notice? Yeah, he does. Does notice, does try to bait out the mine shots. Not quite able to. Gets behind the mineral line. He wants that SCV. Oh my god. Does want it. There we go. SV does go down. Shades past. So far, nice movement here by Master, delaying the command center. Now we do have the medevac on the way. So we are going for the mine drop. Back into Widow Mine production. Mine shot doesn't quite connect. Another ring goes down. Very delicate movement there from Master, and behind this is going into Blink. Perhaps they don't quite commit. Back at home, how many gateways? There's one gate in the main. There is 2 gateways here at the natural, so 3 gate Blink out of Master. Not too committed. From here, Master should be expanding, should be getting a third base. Meanwhile, Kamikaze goes for his 3-1-1 setup. And here comes the mine drop. It's going to be triple Widow Mine from here into tank production. We'll see if these Widow Mines get across the map unscouted. There is an adept in position, and Master, he will see this. Ay, ay, ay. And Master, he will spot the drop. He is aware. And he should be getting, yeah, he's getting in position back at home. Oh, I'm loving this from Kamikaze. So he knows he got scouted. He did see the adept. Kamikaze did notice. He does bob, he does weave, he does rotate over towards the natural instead. So I appreciate the adjustment here from Kamikaze. Back at home, throwing down bunkers, getting ready. He's set up in the center. Prison comes in. Oh, he notices. Wow, he notices the Widow Mine just in time. And here come the Blink Stalkers. Oh, we'll take 2 shots to the face. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol there. Did blink too soon. He wasn't expecting that many Widow Mines. So a decent trade here. Decent trade from Kamikaze. Escapes with the Widow Mines. Very nicely done. Kamikaze does pull away. Master going for his Forge follow-up into his 3rd base, of course. To a greater economy. And even though Kamikaze didn't really get any economic damage, he traded well. He did trade well. He saved all the Widow Mines. He just repaired. Mastery rotates into the main. Rotates over. Blinks in. Tank is exposed. And the tank, is it going to go down? It looks like it will. Get one more volley. Nice pickup. Stalkers, they get away in time. Yes, time for that one tank without losing a single Stalker. Remember, the 2 dead Stalkers were from the Widow Mines earlier. Speaking of the Widow Mines, they are spotted here by the Observer. Master doesn't quite pick them up. Doesn't try to go for them. Again, Master is just containing his opponents while he gets his 3rd base up and running. He's taking up. Gateway Explosion, +1. Charge is on the way. Getting to charge into the bay, into Colossus. So Master just building up into the mid-game. Observer gets caught. Nice catch. Observer does go down. Gateway is still on the way. And Kamikaze is also getting his 3rd CC, not going for a 2-base all-in. Both players are building up. And Kamikaze does sneak out, once again getting spotted by the same adept. God damn it. Every time. Same adept in position. Confirms the drop. Stalkers are coming from behind. And there's no escaping this. Massive blink. Medevac goes down. Does take down the sentry at least, but not much more than that. And just really the sentry. 2 sentries even. Takes off 2 sentries. Kamikaze does break out. Getting into Ghost production. We see Master ready for his own counterattack with that Prism. Outside of the main. Master dips in. Master just getting a 4th expansion while Kamikaze gets a 3rd. So far, Master staying on top of his economy, on top of his expansions, building up into Colossus. First Colossus already out. And Master is looking solid. He's just been getting better trades. Better pickoffs. Mastery can collapse on this position. The Widow Mines have potential here, but it's only just the 1 tank. here comes drop into the main. Oh, Prism is deflected. Zealots, they peel off into the mineral line. They force a stim. They force out a stim. Tank is exposed. It's going for the tank. Mind shots will connect. Catching out some of the stalkers, but still a better trade here for Master. Trading out Zealots here for the tank. Getting 5 SCVs in the natural. And he didn't just get the tank, he got all the Widow Mines. Widow Mine count gets reset. And Kamikaze is looking vulnerable here. No bunker, no factory-based units. Just pure Marine Marauder. Missile goes off, not bad. Missile does connect. Missile connects, Master poking in. Does break forward, likewise Zealots, they peel off once again into the mineral line. SV's going to be going down. Now we're up to 3 Colossus. And Master, he may just have too much. Vikings are helping. There's not that many Stalkers. There are how many Vikings so far? 2, getting up to 4. Not enough. Likewise, Master leaving this army very exposed. Moving out with most of his Zealots, all of his Zealots even. Okay, going for the mineral line once again. Colossus try to move in. Has to retreat. But as he does so, more SCV's going to be going down. These are still better trades for Master. Zealots even getting into the main. And again, Master getting a 5th base. Like, he has a booming economy. He can afford all of this. He can afford this, and Kamikaze cannot. As he at least does defend his 3rd. Master pulling away. Let's pull away, waiting for his Zealots. Disruptor has arrived. Oof. Let's go to his Disruptor. The Zealots, they just keep going in. This time DTs. Dark Templar, they roll into the bases. GG gets caught, just far too much damage. No final fight, and Master, he will pull Kamikaze apart, taking a 2-0 lead. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very impressive game there by Master. Again, in the end, there was no final clash of armies, just non-stop Zealot round by Zealot counterattacks, eventually with Dark Templar as well, and Kamikaze bled out far too much. He bled out far too much there to those round bys. He was able to keep up with the main army and defend his 3rd, but that's all he could do. He couldn't defend his natural or his main. GG. GG, well played. So just solid map control there from Master, enjoying a better economy. Remember, at a certain point, what did we see across the map? There was the one Widow Mine drop and there was the one Marine Marauder drop. Outside of that, Kamikaze could not harass across the map. He was just stuck at home, and Master, he was free to expand and free to just chrono out as many probes as possible. Free to just have that superior economy. And now that leads us into our next game, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the Blue Terran, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back as he moves out with an early SCV. It is Kamikaze. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, leading the series 2-0. We'll see if he can extend that lead. It is Master. As the SCV has arrived, and we are going for the proxy racks. Now what's important here is that there is only one SCV. Only one SCV, so this is not a committed proxy. This most likely is just designed to delay the economy. Rax, Reaper into a bunker on the low ground. We don't expect more than that. So this is not an all-in. Not an all-in here from Kamikaze. Is aggressive, is designed to get damage done, but not overly committed. Meanwhile, Master comes in with the scouts. Master, he will confirm that the Rax is missing. He does get eyes on this. The Rax is not a part of the wall. He will check further in. It is not uncommon for a Terran player to hide the racks in the main base to try to force an overreaction, or to even hide the racks here at the natural, or even at the third location. It's not uncommon. Reaper is on the way. Master's on patrol. Yep, you can see here he's checking the third. And he does confirm the racks. Also confirms there's no add-on, there's no tech lab, there's no second racks either. Factory on the way back at home. And the Reaper dips in. Now Mastery shouldn't be losing any probes here. He does pull a couple of boys, he has to pull back the weakened workers. Oh, one probe goes down. Nice pickoff. He gets one. Gets one probe so far. Reaper dives in, almost gets surrounded, getting a second probe. A second probe falls, getting up to a third. Very nicely done. The Reaper is gonna go down, but not the worst trade. 3 probe kills is more than should have happened. And may even escape? No shot. Yeah, miscontrol there from Master. Reaper, it does get away. Kamikaze, strong start. Very strong start. 3 probe kills, escapes with the Reaper, going back in, behind the mineral line. Adept having a hard time. This is getting out of hand. This is getting out of control. Getting up to, almost 5. He wants that probe. There we go. 5 probe kills. Juicy Adept. Second Adept has arrived. Reaper finally goes down. Whew. Now we can calm down. We can calm down. We can settle into our game. That is a second Rax. That is a second Rax in the main base. This screams one base all in. By now, Kamikaze should have an expansion. Probe scouts. The probe does scout. The probe sees the building Rax. This is too close. Okay, we do have a CC. CC further back in the main. Is this spotted? Master, he does not see the command center, but seeing that second Rax is a big tell about how aggressive Kamikaze is being. Like, this is a very late expansion from the Terran player. And what exactly are we going for? Opening up Cyclone into Hellion, extra Raxes, extra Bio. Meanwhile, Master, he opens up Stargate. Bold move. Bold move, by the way. Did Kamikaze see this? I did not. Did not see the tech. Stargate opener. Into Phoenix, safety shield battery here has been thrown down from Master. Getting ready for aggression. Meanwhile, Kamikaze going for a very early drop. Remember, like, he got the starport before the CC, so that means early medevac, early drop play. But that's what the Phoenix is going to be for. Everything goes down. Master, he responds. Here comes that drop into the main. It's going to be a one-way trip. Gets one probe. Just the one. And there's no escaping this. Cyclone should be lifted. And Kamikaze, he will lose everything. This is not worth it. Massive pig off here. Master catching the Hellion, Cyclone, and the medevac as well. And Kamikaze's in a rough place. He's in a rough place. Remember, he delayed his expansion for that drop. Delayed everything for that drop, and now he's just getting his orbital. Behind this is 311. Stim is on the way. Combat shields. Anti-air is limited. Going for the mules. Master once again in control of the map. He has map control. Gets another Marine. Catching more reinforcements. Almost loses out of Phoenix, but does pull away in time. And from here, Mastery is going for the Rover. Now, this should be Mass Phoenix into Colossus. This is a bit of an older school style and a little bit risky, but because of how much damage that's been done, Mastery is safe to do so. Oh, even going, that's even double Robo. He's crazy. Now, what I was going to say, what is more common in modern StarCraft is to go Phoenixes into Charge, into Gateways, into Mass Zealots. And that is just because Zealots become online faster. They become available more faster, and they're ready for an earlier push from the Terran. But because Master has done so much damage, and because he's picked off some key units, he knows that he's safe. He knows that there shouldn't be a push anytime soon. He knows he can get away with this greed. Double Robo into the Bay, into double Colossus production. Very greedy here from Master. He has the bare minimum units to defend, but he has enough because of all the Phoenixes, because of the early damage. Kamikaze is stuck at home. I will say that Master's third base is late. That is true. It is a later third because of the extra gases and because of the earlier tech. Oh, the boys are being pulled. And it's all or nothing. It's all or nothing from Kamikaze. Now, has Master been too greedy? That is the question. Has he been too greedy? He's going to have two Immortals and one Colossus to defend. It's all or nothing for Kamikaze. He's committing. He's got a lot of Vikings that can help deal with the Colossus as well. Yeah, more Shield Barriers on the way. Mastery does engage ahead of time. So important here that he does try to force a siege. He does pull it off. Early siege at a Kamikaze. This is just buying time for the Shield Barriers for the Colossus. Just buying time for Master. Kamikaze still rallying across the map. Going for Liberators as well. Sieging up within range of the Robos. Very nice position. Mastery did miss the rotation. Has to try to respond. Massive volley goes off. Volley goes off. Repair on the Vikings. Ooh, the Bay is going to go down. Massive pickup. Master, he's in trouble here. He's up against the wall. He has to commit. It does push forward. Diving on the Vikings. Can he go for the lift? Yeah, barely not, but the tanks are going to go down. Yeah, the Immortals, they get on top of the tanks. Tanks do fall. Vikings as well. And he pulls back to the Colossus. Just barely keeps it alive. Very nice save there from Master. Master, he shuts down the push. He shuts down the all-in. The Colossus barely goes down. Whew. That's all the Kamikaze had. That's all that he had. Even pulling extra boys. Third base now on the way. And Master breaks out. He breaks out, catching those reinforcements, catching a tank. Oh, barely not. Pulls away. Pulls away instead. Back at home, third CC just down in production here for Kamikaze. And there's still a lot of pressure on the Terran, as they lost their army and Master did not. Master, he at least lost all the Colossus, but the Immortal count's still very healthy. The Liberators to get within range. They siege up. Probes going down. Getting 4 probe kills here in the main. Nothing quite at the natural. Gets a Stalker. Not bad. Gets a Stalker. Master, he double expands, going for the 4th base. As a reminder, Master, his own third was late. And this is still up in the air. I mean, the Immortal count is still insanely high for Master, true. But he has no Twilight Council. This Twilight Council is late for Master, the Gateways as well. I guess it's just been a shaky game for the Protoss. Kamikaze. Fortifying himself, now taking his third. Taking his expansion. Going in towards the Ghost production. Ghost Academy's on the way. Likewise, Master rebuilding his Phoenixes. Trying to deter any kind of drop play. Twilight Council finally done, at least until Charge finishes. I do feel like Master is vulnerable, but there we go. Charge is being chronoed. He does need it. Getting his 4th base up and running. I still give the slight edge here to Master, but it's still a shaky game state. And we'll see what Kamikaze can get done, as he is prioritizing medevacs once again. Going into Medivacs instead of Vikings. We'll see if he goes for any drop play. For now, waiting for his ghosts. Fully saturated on 3 bases. Master now getting a 5th. Or at least looking to. Throwing down spotter pylons for now. Again, unlike the previous game, Mastery doesn't really have as secure map control. That's why he's throwing down as many pylons as he can nearby. And Kamikaze's getting up to how many? Up to 6 tanks. Jeez, that's a massive tank count. Here we go, does push. Charge is about to finish up, but how many cells do we have? Not many, only 8. And barely any charge lots. Master now going for a 5th expansion, but Kamikaze does move in. Mastery does spot this. And there's a cancel. Tank flow is going up, punishing the Zealots. Without many Zealots, he just can't engage into this. He needs more charge lots. Once again, Baith is denied. Oof. Master overextends. Mastery's in trouble here. He's in trouble. Going for a Zealot run by. Likewise, does move in too soon. Once again, punished by the 6 tanks. Zealots say do get into the mineral line. Not a bad run by. Does move in. Tanks on siege. Get out of siege at the wrong moments. Massive pickoffs. Tank's going to be going down, and Master engages just at the right moment, just at the right time. Is it enough, though? Not enough support. We still got the Zealots earlier. Not enough Zealots, not enough charge lots. He will lose everything. And Kamikaze breaks through. He breaks through. Snowball's out of control. Takes down most of the Marauders. Sorry, most of the Immortals. Takes down the Colossus. And Mastery bleeds off too much. An expensive trade there. That was 6 Immortals going down. 6 Immortals, 5 Sentries, 2 Colossi. Again, just none of Zealots, none of support. Kamikaze not looking too bad. Getting his 4th base on location. He backs off for now. And Master is struggling. He's struggling. He needs that 5th base. Just now getting up. As the 4th base is almost done for Kamikaze. Not bad. Getting some counter damage. Oh. 5 SCV kills. Does pull away. This Master gets up to 4 Colossus. Back into immortal production. Fleet beacons on the way for Skytos. Let's go. Now, even though Kamikaze, I do like the fight that he had. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to reset the Colossus count, and he is still on the back foot. Yeah, Master, he's the first to remax. He's almost maxed out, actually. Impressive. Zealots getting shut down. The tanks are in the main base, not here to defend. When those tanks are on the front lines, getting up to what, 5 Colossus? Oh my god. Jesus. That's a lot of splash damage. Tanks are being kept here on the high ground. Meanwhile, Tempest production has begun. Oh, sorry, carrier production has begun. Now, Kamikaze, he saw the Colossus. He saw the Colossus army. He knows how many there are. This is where I have to be a little bit critical. And where are the Vikings? Where is the Viking production, more importantly, here? As Viking production is not underway, there's no second starport. There is, plus, there we go, second starport and production. Well, this feels late. This feels a little bit late as a response. Not just to deal with all these Colossus, but to deal with the Skytoss that's coming. Now, to be fair, Kamikaze, he hasn't scouted this. He doesn't know about the Skytoss, but seeing all these Colossi should be enough. Should be enough to prompt him. As Master is maxed. Kamikaze is still building up. As Master has weathered the storm. Gotten his 4th base up and running, sorry, his 5th base even. Now getting a 6th. This point killing his own zealots. Killing his own chargers here to make room for more carriers. Again, mastery is maxed. More carriers on the way. Storm as well. Making room for High Templar. Kazi peels off. Master out of position, being forced back. Kamikaze is also about to max out. When it comes to his overall army composition, we'll see. It's only 5 Vikings. Like, the low Viking count is really concerning to me. But it's also one of those things where Kamikaze, he still hasn't seen the Sky Toss. I think he just caught a glimpse of the carriers. If that was the case, though, I'm not sure he'd be making tanks and medevacs right now. Master still killing more of his own units, getting a 6th Colossus! Getting up to 6! That's still at the end there in ice scans. Now he sees, now he knows what's going on. He confirms the Sky Toss. Nice tank polish on the High Templar. Nice tank polish on the High Templar. Kamikaze pushing in. He needs to trade. They zone away the Immortals. This is where Master would benefit from Tempest. Carriers are okay, but they don't scale amazingly. Tempests are just superior in a later game. So I'm a little bit surprised we have no Tempest yet. Tanks moving in. So you get a Colossus. And Colossus is going to be going down. But the ground army is exposed. Massive storms. Oh my god. Runs into the storms. As the tanks do fall. Master maintaining a Sky Toss. Moving in once again, didn't lose any of his carriers, still 5 carriers, soon to be 8 carriers here for Master. I do feel like there's more finesse with Tempest, but I mean he can still brute force this with Mass Carrier. It's not as elegant, but I mean it still works. Template gets caught. We have Mass Ghost here for Kamikaze. Still 0 Vikings. 0 Vikings here. Just Mass Ghost tank. I mean, EMPs are good. Don't get me wrong. And does catch out some of the carriers. Nice EMPs. But the follow-up isn't there. Kazi rotating, getting caught on siege. Tanks they charge, sorry, Zells they charge in. Carriers popping off. Does he have enough interceptors? It's getting close. Ghost they stand their ground, going for the interceptors, going for the carrier. One carrier finally goes down. He gets 1. Gets 2. Takes down 2, takes down 3. Miss rally here from Master. Leads out 3 carriers, runs out of interceptors, and again, at Tempest, they just have so much more longevity here in this game. All the carriers go down, barely any interceptors, diving in. And Kamikaze, he's done it. He has done it. Takes down every carrier, takes down the High Templar. GG gets called, and Kamikaze, he fights back. He puts a point on the board. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Again, Master, just ton of visioning, going Mass Carrier. And again, Mass Carrier isn't really great in the late game situation like that. We saw that he was running out of interceptors. We saw that EMPs were connecting, and without interceptors, the carriers, they were dead supply. They were dead supply then and there, was dealt with. Likewise, because of the limited range of carriers, the army in general, the Protoss army has to just move closer, has to move closer here to the Terran, to the Bio, becomes more exposed. GG. Whew, GG, well played. With that, that leads us here into our next game, and Kamikaze, he does put a point on the board. Can he recover? Can he tie up the series? Up next, we're loading into Frostline. Let's go. Loading into Frostline. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Again, I had my doubts. I had my doubts about the mass ghost, but against pure carrier, I mean, it's fine. apparently it's fine. And here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into game number 3 and spawning in the bottom, number 4, spawning in the bottom hand corner of Frostline. We have our blue Terran player from Brazil, putting a point on the board, taking it here to master, at least in that longer later game. It is a Kamikaze. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss still leading the series 2-1. We'll see if he can bring it back and extend that lead. It is Master. And once again, Proxy Rex out of Kamikaze. Once again, going for that Proxy Rex. Once again, just like the previous game, this is not Marauder. This is not 2-Rex Reaper. This is just a singular Reaper here into a second Reaper into the main base just to get some early economic damage, just like what we saw in the previous game. Now again, last game was just very shaky early to begin there from Master. If you recall, he was having a harder time trading. He was bleeding out a lot of Immortals, a lot of Colossus. There was some better engagements overall by Kamikaze in the mid to late game. Master, at times he was a little bit greedy, at other times his third base was late, his fourth base was late, his fifth base was very late as well. Master, he just wasn't in the best position as he otherwise wanted to be. Not like we saw in game 1, or even game 2. And we'll see how he recovers, if he can. Here comes that natural. We have a safety Zealot on the way. Master, he of course scouts that the Rex is missing, so he's playing it safe by going for the Zealot. And you could argue this is already a nice start for Kamikaze, as he does force this reaction and force this response. Here we go. Reaper dives in, going for the mineral line. Can he get a probe? He gets one. That's one probe so far. Likewise, getting the scouting probe across the map. So 2 probe kills, not bad. Going for another. Adept has arrived. At this time, Master's in position. He will lose another probe, but he will snipe the Reaper. Whew. The last game, the Reapers, they got so much and they escaped. This time, 3 probe kills is decent. Oh god. A bit of miscontrol there. Kamikaze does fight too close to the sun. He gets burned. Second Reaper goes down. That was not as worth it for Kamikaze. Mastery defends. Now he can move out. And this time there's no delay here on the Twilight Council. Twilight Council's on the way. Kamikaze behind this. Oh my god. If you recall, we did speak on how committed Kamikaze was in the last game with the delayed CC. Once again, delayed starport. That is a second and third racks before the starport. This should be a committed stim timing. I say should, just because we actually saw something similar here from Kamikaze against Allison, where he didn't go for a 2-base all-in, where he played it out a little bit safer instead. So if we were casting any other player like Bjorn, like Maru, like Clem, I would assume, okay, this is the setup for a 2-base all-in, but here Kamikaze may just be playing a little bit safer here and going for a later starport into a later third CC. As here come those tech labs. Just the one. Just the one tech lab. Likewise, safety Cyclone. The reason for this Cyclone is because Kamikaze does not know if this is a Stargate or a Templar Archives. Sorry, or a Twilight Council. So Kamikaze's in the dark, he's playing safe. This does cost him. As Master's throwing down gateways. We have 2 gateways at the natural, likewise 1 gateway in the main, so 3 gate blink. Master, he will soon move out. Soon move out with those Blink Stalkers. Waiting for the prism. Waiting for that prism, getting ready for a third expansion. Back at home, CranKy just turtling up. Again, doesn't really know what he's up against. He's got the bunker, got his cyclones at the natural. First tank is on the way. And here come the stalkers. Now, ideally, Master He would want to snipe that tank. Master He will have high ground vision to rotate into the main. And we'll see if any units are exposed. Master does make his way towards said main base. Going for the warp in. Meanwhile, there's limited vision here. The tank does rotate. Stalkers blink in. Tank is exposed. And they're gonna get it. Yeah, massive pick off. Tank goes down. Breaks the lock on as well. Oh. Army stims in. Remember, early stim here from CranKy coming in for the surround. And he gets caught. He gets caught. Massive pick off here on the prism. Prism gets sniped. Whew, not a bad catch. Not a bad catch here. He gets the prism and the stalker for a tank and a couple of SCVs. So CranKy does defend. And Master back at home gets his third. Gets his third base. So just really nice movement there from CranKy. Catching out the prism. Go. Third CC from CranKy. So just building up towards the mid game. I will say that currently Master is in a better position here. Likewise, he's also getting to a more standard follow-up, rushing into charge. He's not rushing into Colossus like we've seen in games past. It's +1, charge, immortal production. And it is going to be difficult here for CranKy to expand. The goal here should be to try to break the third and delay the third base. As Master is building up. Bays on the way is also delayed Colossus production. He's getting there eventually, but later after charge. CranKy can get there. We'll see if he can claim that third. But now just building up. Building up his Vikings, getting a couple of Marauders. Soon CranKy should be able to break out and expand. It's really about what happens from there. Whether he can maintain that base. Again, there's a lot of Zealots getting ready. Zealots are moving out. That fourth Nexus. And as CranKy expands, now he's split up. He's split up between his natural, between his main. He's also getting ready for a run by. Stalkers, they poke in. They get a Widowmine. Mastery doesn't move out with his main army, staying back at home. Spreading out Zealots all over the place. There's spotter units everywhere here. Mastery's all over the map. CranKy going for his Ghost Academy. Unfortunately, there's a second academy, and hopefully he notices in time. It is a little bit wasteful. I do not believe this for Mass Ghost. There's a time and place for a second academy, but CranKy does slip up. Not the biggest of deals. Now he can research ghosts that much faster. True. All the ghosts. And here we go. Mastery's pushing in. So Zel's on the left, Zel's on the right, and the main army in the center. And it looks like so far Kamikaze is in position. He does defend the natural. Master, he commits a little bit further. Here come the Zels towards that third base. The tanks are exposed. Mastery pulls away. Nice force fields. He does pull back. Both tanks go down. Massive pickoffs. Mastery gets what he wanted. He doesn't get any economic damage, but he does deny mining time and he kills both tanks. Both tanks go down. Master pulls away. He bleeds out only Zealots. You see here 17 Zealots in 1 sentry. I mean, that was a lot of minerals, true. But I mean, he has minerals to spare. As on 4 bases, he does replenish those Zealots. Prism towards the natural. Mastery cannot fight head on. He cannot fight this army head on. And Zelza hit the mineral line. Prism into the main. SCVs are going down. Mastery rotates. Going for the third. Once again, Master playing with fire here. He pulls away. 11 SCV kills Zelza, still wreaking havoc. Kamikaze, he wasn't able to defend. Wasn't able to split off units, just now moving in. Likewise, Prism did fall in the main. But still 11 SCV kills and no mining at the natural. Mastery gets what he wanted, getting our 5th expansion. Disruptors are on the way. Only 1 robo. That's the one big issue here for Master, is his limited robo production. That is a concern. But Master is maxed. He's maxed out. Now pulling back. Kamikaze close to maxing out himself. There we go, there's that second robo, it's already done. Master making 2 disruptors at a time. Getting into a blink for his Dark Templar. His DTs. So far Kamikaze's keeping up. Master sneaking up on the main army. And Master Snipe's going up. Oh, decent EMP. Decent EMP. Bunker goes down. Master playing it safe. Meanwhile, Zel stayed to overwhelm that ground army. Planetary should be okay here, but Zel's got a lot done. Oh. Nice time for the ghost. Snipe on the ghost. Another Nova goes off. Doesn't connect. Clutch snipe there from Kamikaze. He collapses on the Colossus. And Master cannot fight this head on. He will lose everything here. The Colossus go down. The Disruptors, the Immortals, the everything. Oh, as the Colossus barely escapes. At the same time, those Zelsa bust into the mineral line. SVs are going down. And Kamikaze's all in. Kamikaze at this point, he doesn't want to be, but he's all in. He may have a planetary, but no saturation. 17 SCVs go down to 35 workers. It's all or nothing for Kamikaze. He turns around. Does turn around, consolidating his army. And Mastery just warps in. He warps in, he reinforces, more disruptors, more zealots, 8 at a time. Kamikaze, he needs to end the game. He did take a good fight, but again, he has no longevity in this game. Not anymore. He has no bank. Runs into the charge lots. Ooh, bleeds out ghosts. 2 ghosts go down. Brutal pickoffs. Here comes the Nova. Ooh. Just zoning away, just buying time. That's all Master needs to do. Just buy time for extra warp ins. I mean, he's got what, 7 bases? Jesus. My god. 6. He's got 6 bases. 6 Nexus. Kamikaze rotates. Master's in position. And now he's moving in. Oh. That's Zelda hit the 3rd base. What little economy that Kamikaze has left, it's going down. Doesn't really have much left over. More zealots trickling in. Kamikaze, he has to respond. Even a disruptor, let's go. It's a 3 cool. Saves the disruptor. Kamikaze, he is up to 43 workers. Again, he's got half the worker count of his opponent. Kamikaze still has a terrifying army though, true. Army is terrifying. He can still win the fights if he can avoid all those Novas. That's how many? That's 6 disruptors. It's gonna be 8. That's a lot of Novas. That's a lot of balls. Flips the army. Never goes off. Better connection. Picking up a couple of Marauders, a couple of Marines here and there. Kamikaze does collapse in the expansion, but it doesn't matter. At this point, Mastery can afford to lose it, so he doesn't need that base. Does not need that expansion. Zealots catch reinforcements, picking up Marauders. And Kamikaze is all or nothing. Oof. Takes a massive Novus to the face. And Master, he holds. He holds, he defends. The army just isn't there. Not anymore. Too much supply in Vikings. There are no Colossus. And this is going to be Kamikaze's final stand with the planetary. Master, he respects it. He pulls away for now. Now moving in. Novus popping up. Oof. I don't quite bring the planetary down. We get the mass repair. Well, they head towards the 3rd base. Master coming in from behind. He wants the main army. Trying to lock him in. And he will. The army's just heavily overstimmed. Oof, Novas are connecting. And he's done it. He finally does it. He breaks the main army. It was a very tense back and forth, but GG gets called, and Master, he will take the game and take a lead 3-1. GG. He will extend his lead. Again, Kamikaze, he was holding his own. He was holding his own up until that one moment when Master, he was able to get into the natural. If you remember, he got into the natural, he got, was it 11 SCV kills, almost up to 17. He was able to catch reinforcements as well and cripple the economy, and with that, Kamikaze just wasn't able to recover. At one point, he went down to 35 SCVs. Even though there was no major clash, there was no main fight when it came to the main armies, I would have actually favored Kamikaze there, but he was just distracted. Time and time again, he was just distracted. Zealots, they got into every single base, the 4th, the 3rd, the natural, even the main. GG. GG, well played. The Zealot Rambites, they proved to be a little bit too much there, and with that, Master is now 1 game away from claiming the series. Let's go. Let us go. Good morning, afternoon, man from the future. It is, what, 1 PM here? It is afternoon here in Australia. True, true. We'll be getting breakfast after this cast. We'll eventually get some food. We'll get there, we'll get there. For now, though, we're jumping into our next game. We're up against the wall here, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love. We have the Brazilian Terran player down in the series. 1 more loss, and the series is over. The finals will be over. He has to fight back here and now to extend this series and to have a chance at the ace match. It is a Kamikaze. And spawning in Kamikaze, he's like, be honest, last game, balanced? He does like to cry. And spawning in us, Master, he's like, what are you talking about? Like, what unit's OP? He's like, everything. In the bottom right corner, we have the red Protoss player leading the series 3-1. It is Master. Here we go. Yeah, Kamikaze, he's saying that he was in a better position. So he's upset that he lost. What I would say, I don't know, Kamikaze would watch this, is that Kamikaze, he did have a stronger main army. I mean, we were discussing that, right? A lot of it came down to, as he was getting his planetary, as he was getting his fourth base, he was just out of position. He was out of position. He failed to react to the run by at the natural in time, or I say in time, even just at all. Those zealots are wreaking havoc for a long time. It can be quite difficult keeping up with those zealot run-bys and zealot harassments, but if he was able to clean that up, then he can focus on the main push, and that's where he did have a superior army, right? That's where he could have engaged, but he didn't quite get the chance to, as he was torn apart by the run-bys, right? By the run-bys, by the counterattacks. Kamikaze. Because outside of that, like, he was playing it well. He was playing it well. But it can definitely feel frustrating. Like, it even happens in ZVP as well. Like, I've personally been in that situation where you have like a greater army, you can push, you want that fight, and every time you try to move out, every time you try to be aggressive, bam, Zealots in the base, right? Zealots at the 4th, at the 5th, in the main. It's like you just want to go, you just want to send it, you just want to be aggressive, and you can't. And it can definitely feel very aggravating. It can feel very frustrating, maybe that's a better word, when you know that you can take a fight, but you can't, right? You can't be as aggressive as you want to be because you have to be more defensive. You have to stay at home. Your opponent has map control. I mean, that's the reasoning for that, right? It can definitely be frustrating. But here we go. Master does move out. Oh. Does move out. Takes down the first Reaper. Takes down the second Reaper as well. Nice pickoffs. Getting a third. Yeah, another Reaper goes down. Takes down all 3. Behind this, we have a delayed CC from Kamikaze. He did go for a faster factory into Reaper Hellion, but without those Reapers, the Hellions on their own can't really threaten too much. Typically, you would have those Reapers to maybe hit the main, Hellions hit the natural at the same time, or you can knock the Stalker out of position. Here, Master, upon seeing all those Hellions, he fully walls off. He fully walls off on 2 bases. The Hellions can do nothing, and Master can settle in to his Blink-based opener. He can settle into Blink. Meanwhile, Kamikaze across the map going for his 1-1-1 into Tank Viking. We've seen this before here, but unfortunately Kamikaze has no scouting information. So we've seen a lot of games where he goes for safety Cyclones, or in this case safety Viking, just because it could be a Stargate. We did see a Stargate opener and Stargate game on Whispers of Gold from Master, so he has already shown in this series that it doesn't just open Blink every game. So in a sense, Kamikaze forced to be inefficient due to his lack of scouting. Oh, and he's pushing. He is going for early tank production. He's moving out real fast and real quick. And we'll see what he can get done. Master getting his 3rd. Embracing Blink. How many gateways? So far, I believe 2. So 3. So 3 gate Blink into a faster 3rd base. Master does move out, and Kamikaze will see if he can catch him. As the armies, they do pass by each other. They do engage. First Hellion goes down. Tanks are spotted. Master knows. Master, he knows, he's aware. Trying to slow this down, picks up a Hellion. Does catch both Hellions. Ideally would love to catch a tank. Or the medevac. As here come extra reinforcements. Immortal production has begun. So far, nice being control, but 1 Stalker goes down. Running out of Marines, so running out of Marines. The tanks are under fire. Yeah, the control is good enough, and Kamikaze is being shut down. He's being shut down here. It's close though. Takes down a lot of Stalkers in the process. The tanks, they barely survive. He has to get out of here. He has to pull away. Whew. Again, not the worst trade here from Kamikaze. Looking at the trades, it was what, 6 Marines and 1 Viking for 6 Stalkers. Very, very nice, at least gas-wise. Now the problem being that I'm sure Kamikaze wanted to pressure the natural or even deny the 3rd. I'm sure Kamikaze wanted more damage, but so far traded well. He trade well, makes it back home, he can now repair. As Mastery has gained map control, has significantly less Stalkers than he would like to, but does have map control regardless. back at home. Once again, just like the last game, it is going to be blink into charge into +1. Again, this is a more common style here, a little more meta, going into charge loads, going for delayed Colossus. He will eventually get there, but this is designed to punish an aggressing Terran. If Kamikaze moves out too soon, he's going to run into a wall of Zealots. So we are building up. Observer likewise gets eyes on the main army in the main. Extra Maxes, double Viking production. Third CC is in production as well, so Master knows there's no 2-base all-in. Seeing the third CC is assigned to expand, so Master should be going for his 4th base. He's going for his 4th, and he throws down his bay as well. Nice catch on the Observer. Observer gets caught out. Scorch Kamikaze does find the Prism. Very nice catch. Prism goes down. Shuts down the Prism. Kamikaze moving in. Oh. Kamikaze claiming his 3rd. I will say this 4th base is late. Yeah, we mentioned earlier when he saw the 3rd base building, that's typically when you expand and get the 4th. So Master, his 4th base is delayed. Bells move out. Zealots are ready for the run by. Hey, we saw this earlier. Kamikaze, he does have a bunker in position, thankfully. And he does reposition his tanks further back, taking a more defensive stance. Zelsei poke in. Master going for the natural. The wall is down. And Zelsei get into the mineral line. Okay, they peel off into the natural, into the main. Nice wall off here in the main base, but still that's going to be, what, 7, 8 SCV kills? Ay. 11. Oh, I'm getting deja vu. 11, 12 SCVs go down. Again, Kamikaze out of position. He did have a bunker, but the wall was open. The wall was open. Now he does lift. And you can see another Zealot run by getting ready. Master preparing another run by. And again, Master, he can't really break the main army, but he can catch Kamikaze out of position. Likewise, 2nd Robo's on the way, +2. Master rotating in. Getting a 5th base as well. Let's go. This is a really scary position for Master because Kamikaze could try to catch the army and could try to trap him. Speaking of Master, he has to get the hell out of here. Pokes in, has to pull away. Nice force fields though. Nice force fields will delay the army, as Kamikaze has the much larger force. And Kamikaze would win in a head-on fight. So Master, he backs off, he retreats. I would argue that that would be the moment for Kamikaze to counterattack, to chase this down. You could also argue that, I mean, if he were to do so, that's when Master moves in with the Zealot run by. He didn't have one ready though. As Zealot run by is scouted, is confirmed. Kamikaze out of position, the 3rd base is exposed. Doesn't go for it though. Master picking up the depots. Going for the mineral line. Zelsei force friendly fire. Again, Kamikaze, he was at the 4th base, not at the 3rd. He missed the rotation. Speaking of rotating, Master rotates over towards the northern base. Does head over. Kamikaze, he doesn't see this. He sees nothing. And we made up in a weird base trade. He does spot the main army. He turns around. Okay. Does turn around, but not quite in position to save the CC. He's racing back. He stims over. Will save the command center. Same time, Zell stay out. Don't get much done. 2 SCV kills. 2 SCVs go down. Planetary under fire once again. Master is maxed out. He's looking for those Novas. Nova goes up. Oh my god. Does split in time. Thankfully, saves the ghosts. Ghosts are saved. Massive EMP. EMPs do pop off decent Nova towards the end, and Master has to pull out. He has to get the hell out of here. As he pulls away, Zell say peel off towards that natural. This time, Kamikaze does lift in time. Kamikaze defends. He defends. Master gets the hell out of there, taking another expansion. It's one of those things where the supply does lie. Master, he's up in supply, but a lot of that is in workers. Meanwhile, Kamikaze has a much larger army supply. So again, in a lot of these engagements, Master, he has to retreat. Like, he cannot fight head on. At least not yet. Oh. Oh! Disruptor rallies in. Nice pick up here from Kamikaze. Dark Templar, they do get past. Does he spot the shimmer? Doesn't look like he does. DTs, they get into the mineral lines. And there's no turrets. Yeah, there's no turrets in position. SCVs are going down. Another scan. 5 worker kills. Master, he rotates. Ooh, as a Dark Templar in the main. 9, 10 SCV kills. Ay, ay, ay. There's a re-cancel. Does cancel the CC. Pushing further in. Novas, the first one doesn't connect, but that's a kill. The Planetary. Oh my god. Planetary goes down. And once again, Master, he has to get the hell out of here. Colossus are going to fall. Does reset the Colossus count. Oof. Meanwhile, a little supply here in those Vikings. Massive Nova connects. And with that Nova, it looks like Master, he does it. He breaks through the main army. GG, well played. And Master, he will claim the series 4-1, becoming this month's Host Open champion. GG. Whew. Oh my god. GG, well played. Master does take it. I mean, Master, he did come in as the favorite player. Master, he is the strongest Protoss player in all of Brazil, and arguably the strongest Protoss in all of Latin America. Kamikaze did well though, did well making it here to the finals, and even in a lot of these games had a lot of strong moments as well. Clearly frustrated towards the end of the series, especially after Frostline, but alas, did slip up, did make some mistakes here and there. There's a reason why as well, at least at the highest level, we do see whenever we have this more charge heavy style from the side of the Protoss side of things, it is important to take a more defensive role early on. Not just that, but it can be difficult, but to go for drop play at the same time, whether it's Raven harass, Banshee harass, drop play as well, Widowmine drops, to get some damage across the map while you're defending. Because the reality is, we spoke time and time again about how Kamikaze, if there was ever a head-on fight, he would win, implying that he had enough supply to take those fights. Because that was never happening, the implication there is that there is spare supply to be sent elsewhere, right? That's maybe the biggest strength of Master on both Frostline and here on Ultralove as well, is that there was nothing harassing. There was nothing hindering the economy. He was left alone the entire game. He was taking, 4th base, 5th base, 6th base. There was nothing touching him back across the map, so he could focus on harassing, on those main army movements, on the rotations, on the engagements as well. I will say that Kamikaze did have the spare supply to attempt any kind of run-bys or counterattacks or drop play, and alas, instead he was focusing on defending, but in doing so, he was having a hard time keeping up with the movements of his opponent, so there he was struggling. With that, GG well played. Congratulations here to Master, and again, a shout out to Kamikaze for making it here to the finals. Did have a good performance nonetheless, and with that, we recrown our champion. GG well played. Oh my god, as Master does claim it, and with that, that is going to be wrapping up our morning broadcast. A little bit shorter here than usual, 3 hours, as opposed to the typical 4, but it is an intense weekend, so I'm happy to cut things a little bit shorter here. Scrolling on over, we do have the rest of our broadcast, here tonight. You can see our weekly schedule. We just wrapped up Saturday morning with the host open, and later on this evening we have the Rex March Madness. That is going to be at 7 p.m. KST. That's going to be 9 p.m. AEST. That is going to be in 7.5 hours. 7.5 hours. I have enough time to eat and maybe nap a little bit before the next cast. Again, if you're curious, what is the Rex March Madness? Well, usually we are live multiple times a day, every single day, but as you can see, Wednesday is suspiciously open. You can see Wednesday, there's nothing there. Originally, we did have 2 casts that day, but it was a smudge day. Just everything went wrong. Unfortunately, Wednesday morning, I wasn't quite able to cover Code for Giants Cup, and Wednesday evening, we were live. We were there at the time to cast Rex March Madness live, but the internet was very unstable. It happened for the first time. It's not really a common occurrence here, but basically while we were casting, we were spiking up to like 1000 ms. It was just out of nowhere, just like these random spikes, and it made for a bad viewing experience. It also, I didn't want to negatively impact the players, so in the end we weren't able to cast. We weren't able to cast on Wednesday, but instead we have the replays. So that Rex March Madness is going to be a replay cast from matches that happened on Wednesday. So the Wednesday cast, move it to Saturday instead for a replay cast instead of a live event. I do apologize. A lot of people do prefer live events and live coverage, but it was out of our control. I didn't know what was happening. Everything's been fine since then, but for whatever reason, Wednesday the internet was just going crazy. it was not good. It was not good. So I do apologize for that, but it means that we can catch up here tonight. Tomorrow is going to be the StarCraft Evolution League Code A in the morning and Sparkling Tunic Cup in the evening as well. So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft throughout the week. If you want to help support us, you can do so via following the channel here on Twitch, over on YouTube as well. VODs are uploaded on a daily basis on YouTube, so if you want some VOD action, YouTube is the place to be! ! Socials in the chat for links to our YouTube, to our social medias, Discord as well. It is all there in the chat. Likewise, thank you so much to our supporters on Patreon. We actually got a new patron today. Thank you so much. Actually, 2 patrons. Oh my god. Thank you so much. During the broadcast, actually, we got a new patron. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. Again, you can see our current goal on Patreon. 100% of the money on Patreon goes towards our tournaments. We do host events like Sea Duckling Open, Master Swan Open, and Sparkling Tunic Cup as well. All of those 3 events, it is all funded via Patreon. Our next goal is to boost the prize pool of Sparkling Tunic Cup even further. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. We actually got a new patron last night and won a couple of minutes ago actually. so thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the support that we do get, whether it's here on Twitch, whether it's subscribers, members on YouTube, supporters on Patreon, or even just watching the channel. Thank you. Thank you so much for all the support. We do appreciate it. We appreciate it so much. Thank you. Again, we're going to be live once again in 7.5 hours. That is going to be the Rex March Madness. And yeah, we are wrapping up. We are wrapping up for now. I'm going to be catching up on replays, on replay packs, I should say. If you're a subscriber, and even if you're a patron as well, we do give out replay packs to our subscribers and to our patrons. So do join our Discord, as you will gain access to our secret channel on Discord, where we do hand out those replay packs. So we got you covered there. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it so much. And stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who is live at the moment? Who can we send everyone over to? I know Enki is covering some StarCraft Evolution in Spanish, and we got a lot of love for Enki. True, we got a lot of love for Enki. I think Patches is streaming at the moment. Who else is live? I see Enki. I see Albatree is playing the Warcraft 3 campaign. Webito Eggs is live. So good raid Eggs. I know BB is live. Dave Testa. Pacheca. Yo, Pili is live. Pili Pili, he doesn't stream too often anymore. It's been a while. Okay, okay. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for support. We'll see you guys next time. I was going to raid Enki, but we'll give some love to Pili Pili just because he raided us last time and he doesn't stream too often anymore, and he's a good friend. So give some love to Pili. He is an American Protoss player, so give him some love. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later on tonight for some Rex March Madness. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.